It's that time again for the assault on your ears we call Lower Dorks, a Star Trek Lower Decks podcast. I'm Aaron, and with me as always is Stavros. Tonight on our screens is episode 1 of season 3, Grounded. And in our kips is tequila, just tequila.
Just plain old tequila. I am drinking the Casamigos brand. That is the George Clooney brand for all of you guys who are tequila aficionados. I hear I'm not really a huge tequila drinker in general, but I hear it's supposed to be good, and it tastes good too. What brand are you going with?
Oh, well, I mean, of course, for reasons that will become apparent, I had to go with the Buenamigos brand. I mean, kind of is fitting.
Yes, I think we'll end up talking.
We'll
about
get to that,
sure.
But you can never go wrong. Tequila's tequila. It's all bad.
Yeah. It's so bad, it's good, right?
Indeed, but you know what? Zephyr Cochrane would be proud.
That's right. That's right. Well, let's talk about this episode. It's exciting. We can get into season 3 for a change. Thank God the wait is over. But let's talk about Grounded. In this episode, while Captain Freeman stands trial for the alleged destruction of Pakled planet, the rest of the lower deckers are grounded on Earth. But Mariner comes up with a harebrained plan to exonerate her mother that only sort of blows up in her face.
Sort of.
Yeah, just a little bit. But quick aside already, this early in the episode, I saw someone on Reddit call the lower deckers the Warp Core 4.
I like it.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think that's a good name for them.
Okay, maybe we'll have to make that change, maybe, the Warp Core 4.
Warp Core 4.
But yeah, this episode, a lot of fun stuff to talk about. Should we just jump right in?
Yeah, I think we can.
Yeah, let's do it. Actually, you know what? Before we even get to the episode proper, so I watched this show on Paramount Plus. I'm in the U.S. and I watched it on Paramount Plus. And the same thing with Strange New Worlds. They're doing the Starfleet Delta as a kind of like IP intro, in the same way that Disney Plus is doing this IP intro for Star Wars. And for Strange New Worlds, they use the new Enterprise, and for Lower Decks, they use the Cerritos, kind of like making the trail of the Delta. And it's funny because it's like so majestic and looks so cool. But it's like a direct contrast to the opening credits for Lower Decks, where the Cerritos is kind of jokey and fun. Huh? Did you notice that?
That's some quality branding they got going on there. But yeah, the Cerritos, always majestic, despite being a garbage ship for garbage people.
That's right. Anyway, let's actually get into the episode. Right off the bat, the show opens with the news, like the FNN news broadcaster.
Yeah, and what did we get?
Stuff.
Confirmation of my fan theory. Admiral Jellicoe rose through the ranks.
I cannot believe that. Well, you know what? As much as we've talked about this before, as much as he's hated in that Next Gen episode, he's competent. The guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah, dude.
So. And in this case, he's banning Choo 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 from.
Yeah, what's the deal with that? I wonder what's going on. Like, I mean, I guess things kind of went sideways when the Zebulon sisters were on board the Cerritos. Maybe like the same thing happens every ship they go to. They're just like this huge disruption.
Yeah, everyone they get distracted by printing shirts and whatever it is they do. So.
Yep, skipping work to go to the Choo Choo dance.
That's right. But I actually read through the rest of the little like news ticker stuff there. Some interesting little tidbits there. The next one is that the Buffalo Solar Knights eclipsed London Kings in day 1 of ELDS. So you may remember the London Knights being referenced in some DS9 and TNG episodes. So there's some baseball going on there still. Apparently, people still play baseball in this era.
Well, it was mentioned in DS9 that there was still leagues going on.
That's right. Yeah.
Apparently, Vulcan's big fan of it.
Yeah, totally. The next one is 6-year-old Zach Dorn, youngest to be crowned Stratagem Grandmaster, and you may recall the Zach Dorn from that.
Interesting thing. Later in the episode, I think we actually see Zach Dorn getting manhandled by Tuvok.
That's right. Yeah, they just worked in the dual Zach Dorn references.
Weird references.
And then the final entry on the news ticker: Country Stampede. Dozen teens injured rushing the stage at a Sonny Clements concert. And you might recall Sonny Clemens as one of the people rescued by the Enterprise in the Next Gen episode Neutral Zone.
Yeah, he's like the only one that's just like cool about everything that's going on. Like everybody else is like, oh God, this is terrible. What about my money? What about my family? What about my people? He's just all like, where can I get a drink? Can I get me a banjo?
He gets a guitar and all that?
Yeah, it's a guitar, not a banjo.
A banjo. Tell me how you really feel about country music.
Hey, you know what? That's more bluegrass if it's got a banjo in it. So
okay, fair enough. But that was fun, getting all those little tidbits squeezed in there.
Indeed.
So. But we get, we learned there that, Captain Freeman's on trial. And it's funny, and I kind of want to bring it up early to see what you think. This whole thing with Captain Freeman being on trial and the subsequent resolution of her being on trial and the grander plot of what's going on with the Pakleds, all, like, 99% of it happens off screen.
That is the most fantastic part of this entire episode. Like, there was a whole other action-oriented, over-the-top, cliffhanger episode, season opener, high budget, high stakes, and that is not the episode we follow. We follow a failed rescue attempt that barely makes it out of space dock. Fantastic. I love it.
Yeah. It's funny because that, like, perfectly fits the theme of the show. But it's weird because, I'm wondering what you think if it still makes for a fulfilling episode. Because, like you said, when they try and steal the Cerritos out of space dock, they literally get stuck and
here's the thing.
Nothing happens. They barely get out of it.
It's probably way more fulfilling for me than it is for most people. Because I've been saying for years, I want this episode where there's some big problem they're facing and the main characters are not involved in the resolution at all. They just hear about it after it completes fails. And I had even said at the end of last season that I hope Mariner goes off the deep end trying to rescue her mother. And everybody else is like, nah, everything's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And they've got this whole other plan going on that she's just not involved with. And it totally went down the way I had predicted. For once, I am right. Actually, this whole episode is just me being right. I really love it.
We're gonna, you know what? Should we talk about that now? Because I think I know what you're talking about.
You know what? Let's get there naturally. So okay. I've already rubbed enough in. Let's just move on, and we'll come back.
Just go through the episode.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. One of the things I wanted to call out actually is Admiral Freeman, who is played by Phil Lamar, actually gets tons of screen time and voice lines in this episode. It's kind of nice to get more instead of just being like a couple little lousy lines. He actually gets to actually be in the episode quite a bit. Yeah,
doesn't have a whole lot to do. I mean, like he's mainly just the authority figure to Mariner's rebel.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the fact though that he gets a bit of bad news from Admiral, and I love this. Less buen amiga. Admiral good friend. Come on.
Is there, I feel like there's got to be something more to this, or are they just making up goofy names?
I don't know. I love it. I love the fact that he's the one who calls. It's a fantastic sideways thing there.
That was pretty funny. That's our third. I'm drinking the Casamigos. You're drinking what's the name of the tequila again?
Buen Amigas. It's his name.
Buen Amigas. Yeah. So yeah, it all makes sense when you think about it.
Yeah, that whole scene is fantastic. Mariner destroying the monitors, and the Admiral being all like, they just turn off, right? I love it.
Yeah. So good.
Love her calling out, why is the Golden Gate Bridge still there if nobody drives?
I know. Nobody drives.
What purpose does it serve?
It's funny. That's been in like every recent Star Trek show. Like it's been in Discovery, it's been in Strange New Worlds, it's been in Picard, it's been in Lower Decks. People love that bridge, man.
Well, I mean, it's not just it's iconic. I think it's actually probably been in every series at some point. I know it was in Voyager.
Yeah. That's right. It was in Voyager.
We went to Starfleet Academy in Next Generation, so I'm sure it was there.
Yep, I think you see it in Next Gen. Yeah, you're right. It's a popular bridge, man.
Like
Everyone likes the bridge, Mariner.
Yeah. Get on board.
Just because you're upset doesn't mean you can diss the Golden Gate.
Indeed.
That red thing. But from there we pop into the opening credits, and I'm sure you noticed the main change, which is in the battle scene, which keeps getting more and more ridiculous.
More and more epic.
Shoved the crystalline entity.
Why is the crystalline entity in there? Did I miss an episode?
I don't know. They mentioned the crystalline entity, I think, in a previous episode, and that's it.
Okay, well, maybe that's it. I don't know.
Yeah. But I actually went back just to compare it to the season 1 opener, where it's just Borg and Romulans, and I feel like in every season they just add more and more ridiculous stuff to that scene. So it's great.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens in season 7. You know,
they're gonna shove in even more ships.
Yep.
And then we come back from the intro, and we get the scene we've seen before with Boimler on his raisin farm. Kind of funny thing. Of course, they've added more jokes and stuff like that. But I actually saw this online. Somebody posted on Reddit that the first girl that approaches Boimler in the little weird hat thing is literally the sun-made raisin girl.
Yeah,
I didn't realize it's exactly a 1-for-1 thing from the logo. So good. But we've talked about the rest of that scene before. But I thought the part that they did cut out where Boimler's running off with Mariner, and the girl like chasing after him, she goes, "I'm soaked in juice,
and I need you to help me get naked." Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah, just hose yourself off. You're fine. I thought that was
yeah, so fantastic. The whole change.
I know
of Boimler's status from on board the Cerritos, where he's the weird lower deck kid, to where he's the popular vintner in the farm. It's
a little goofy. But from there we get to the again the scene that we've seen in some of the previews at the Sisko kitchen.
Yeah, stuffed alligator and all.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Just hanging out in the background
you can't
there.
Have enough of that. But did you notice that the pads are just like iPads and can take photos?
I mean, that makes sense. Why would we have a tech downgrade at that point?
Yeah. It's funny to see him, work out just like iPads. But that's fun. But yeah, I'm sure you also picked out the Ketracel white hot sauce.
White hot sauce, amazing. If they don't start selling that,
yeah, I saw it. I actually saw Mike McMahon post something about a season 3 goodie bag. Get a hold of us, Mike. We could also use stuff like that, but it actually has a bottle of the Ketracel white hot sauce in there. So. If you're fancy schmancy press, you got some.
Which we are not. We are...
No, we are casual armchair people.
Third-rate podcasters.
Correct. But I did some research on the white hot sauce. It actually says on the bottle that it is 17 million SHU, and I Googled it. Spent some time Googling it. SHU is actually a unit of heat, in case you didn't know. It's called Scoville heat units. And if you go to their website, the spiciest item they have is only 16 million SHUs. So this hot sauce is hotter than the currently existing maximum hotness.
Had no idea that was a thing, and frankly, I don't care.
Well, you know what? Don't you feel better now that you know a little bit? Something new.
No, I feel like I'm going to forget this by morning.
No, that's just because of the tequila.
Yeah, that could be it.
Yeah, I think so. But then the Warp Core 4 go to the transporter facility to try and beam to the Cerritos.
And this scene bothers me.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah, so before we even start on the facility, I love this scene, but why do they need to go to a facility? Like, we have established in the series that there's transporters like everywhere. They're in buildings, they're on street corners, they're in like lobby areas, they're all over the place. Yep. Like, why do they need to go to a facility?
Yeah, I don't know. Great question. Like, anywhere anyone can beam there. They have the coordinates.
Yeah, like, and maybe
they
like
just want an excuse to talk to this guy.
Maybe like the street pads that you can use anywhere are like locked to only certain locations, right? But like, I feel like they would be able to override them. I mean, they just feel like this is just an excuse to go to the transport location.
They just really needed to work in that guy there.
The not O'Brien guy?
That's what it is. Yeah, the definitely not old O'Brien.
I mean, like, I was all in the run-up expecting it to be O'Brien there. And I wonder if that's what they originally had planned, but then just couldn't get Cole Meany.
Oh, they couldn't get him, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm just super sad it wasn't him.
Yeah.
Still a great character, though.
Are they going to bring back this guy?
No.
With his butterscotches?
No.
He's gone.
I love that he totally offers them butterscotch, though.
Yeah. Yeah. I like... So, I mean, we're going to get more to this when they actually steal the Cerritos as well, but do you feel like it's in character for them to instantly decide to sacrifice their careers, basically? Because they can get in major trouble for... I mean, they're talking about physically assaulting this guy.
Yeah, physically assaulting this guy, hijacking it. But I mean, like, this is all a callback to the search for Spock, you know, when they steal the Enterprise. Definitely. So I feel like, you know, if Kirk can get away with it, why not Mariner?
Yeah, I mean, they're the same, right?
Yeah, I mean, one's a decorated admiral, and the other is an ensign who's one step from watching out a Starfleet. Same diff, you know?
Yeah, completely, yeah. They can't demote Mariner anymore, I don't think. How would they do that?
Demote her to a civilian.
I think that means they kick her out. Yeah. They kick her out of the fleet. Did you like anything else you want to mention about this scene?
No, there's nothing else interesting in this scene.
No,
nothing at all.
Yeah. Well, you know what was interesting is the theme park at Bozeman.
Boy.
The first contact land.
Was like Bozeman, was the camp always like on the edge of a cliff? Like, I don't remember this from the movie, but like I feel like if it was, like, Cochrane's, you know, his alcoholic ass would not have survived till launch day.
He would have wandered off.
Yeah, I feel like he would have walked off a cliff way before they got to the magic carpet ride. Oh yeah.
That's funny. And speaking of music, it's funny because they run skipping around a little bit, but they, you know, go on the ride, which, by the way, is highly reminiscent of Disneyland, all the way down to the how the doors look going into the Star Tours ride. It looks exactly the same, ripped completely out of Star Tours. But I love how they got the actual the magic carpet ride song for the lifting out of the ship.
Yeah, but they couldn't get Hooby Dooby. Come on, man. Like the Roy Orbison estate was all like, no way, we're not letting you use this.
We can only have
cartoon.
One. Yeah.
I do love though that they reference that jukebox famously only plays one song.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, I know we heard it playing multiple times, but like,
yeah,
that doesn't mean that's the only song it plays. It's just his favorite song. Come on, people.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. There's got to be a story behind this. Like, what happened to Ooby Dooby?
Yeah,
bring it back.
The like high muckety mucks were like, no, McMahon, you only get one song. You can pick out one song.
We
Put
can only
the other
license
song
one.
back. Put it back. Just one.
You can reference it, and that's it. Put it back on the shelf.
Oh yeah. But there's like tons of other stuff that was great in this scene.
Yeah.
Like they're really doing good with their like wide shot stuff. Like, I love the stands. There's the T-Trek stand that sells T-shirts. And Thirst Contact. Oh, dying.
Oh, man. I didn't see that one.
I wonder what they sell there. Like smoothies, maybe?
I guess so, yeah.
I don't know. Who knows?
It would have to be, yeah. I liked the Zephram Cochrane souvenir caps.
I'd get one of those.
That was great.
Yeah. Wish I had one right now.
Why are those not real?
I bet they are.
You gotta make those the thing.
You can find anything on Amazon. So, but I mean, all of that stuff though, but I gotta know, what's the deal with the churros? Why churros? Is there a reason?
Why don't you... That's a Disneyland thing. It's another Disneyland reference.
Really? They just sell churros at Disneyland everywhere? When did this happen?
They're like famous for churros, yeah.
Is that like a new thing, or has it always been that way?
It's been a thing for a while.
I don't know.
Churros and
I haven't been there since
Dole
the
Whip.
80s, so...
Oh, well, that would explain a lot.
Could be.
Don't you want to be a Disney adult? You too would be able to get these references.
Yeah, maybe.
All you have to do is sell your hovel, and you could go there like twice.
You know what? My hovel is...
That's probably it.
Housing market the way it is, I could probably go there thrice. Thank you.
Wow. Slow down. You're getting out of control.
I got some upgrades. I got barbed wire fence now. And I got a tire dump in the back.
Wow. Yeah. That's high class.
High class. All the neighbors are jealous.
I can tell. But you know, they get on the ship, and how do you feel about Gavin? The true hero of the story.
God. Like, if you know what, forget the Ways Douche 3. Like, I don't care about any of those people coming back. Gavin needs to make a return. I want an entire Gavin-centric episode.
What a journey that character went through this whole episode. He went from a whiny punk to the hero that the galaxy needs.
Yeah, scared of space to space hero. Bring him back. He is my new favorite character. All Gavin, all the time.
Yeah, you got to buy that fanny pack. That really is what makes it, I think.
Oh man, yes. I do want to say though, my final thing about this is that really disappointed me, and we've mentioned the music. I am really disappointed that they got Magic Carpet Ride. I would have loved it to be like a similar but not the correct song. I feel like that would have just been so fitting of like a small shitty theme park around a singular historic event. Yeah. Just to get one like minor, maybe major detail wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, make a joke out of it maybe.
Yeah. I'm kind of disappointed that there was no like Borg cosplayers there at the park too. Like now, do people know? Like now, do they know? I know in like the Ent era, like Archer references his dad telling him Cochrane's crazy story, but like it was implied that it was like not this known thing. But I'm wondering if by now it's like known by everybody. You know?
Yeah. I don't know. It depends. You know, like Picard files this report after the events of First Contact, and does that get public? Does that just
do they classify it, or do they release it, or what?
Yeah, do they make it public?
And like, the Vulcans respond with, "We knew the humans couldn't have done this on their own."
That's right. We have so much regret still.
Somewhere there's like some Vulcan high muckety muck who's just like called it.
I knew it was illogical. Humans could have done this.
Could have achieved warp flight on their own.
That's right. But, you know, back to music for a second. How about that First Contact theme plastered all over that establishing shots of the theme park? Did you notice that?
Didn't even notice. No, not at all.
Oh, man.
I'm not really big into music or audio or sound at all, you know. I tend to watch it with the audio off and just subtitles.
That would make it. But yeah, they've totally got the First Contact movie theme all over the.
We've mentioned this. So. They do a really good job with their audio engineering in this series.
Totally, and, very much so.
Their callbacks are not just visual; they're not just dialogue. It's like woven into every.
They got everything
of the series.
Yeah. It's really good. They even got the statue. Did you notice that they mentioned in First Contact with the?
And you're just Cochrane kind of reaching out to the stars,
to the future. Yeah, that was good. I'm glad they had that in there. It was a good touch.
You know what? They should have like updated it after they learned the real truth of what went down, and just had him like instead of reaching out to the stars, he's holding up a stash of cash.
Even better. He wants to retire to an island full of women, or whatever that was. Whatever he said, right?
Nothing wrong with that.
You know, the guy. You know, he's the hero that we needed at the time, even though his motivations were not what we thought they were.
Well, and I think that was a great story in the overall series. Is that experience of going into space, achieving warp flight, meeting the Vulcans, completely changed his motivational imperative.
Yeah.
You know, they should make a TV series out of that. True. Do like a prequel series. That's all about Zefram Cochrane after First Contact.
It's like the true execution of the thought behind the Enterprise show?
No, like even further back, right? Just like the first days of warp flight with Zefram Cochrane and his team and those darned Vulcans always getting in the way. The theme song could be Hooby Dooby. It would be fantastic.
Yeah. Get the licensing guys working on that.
Yeah.
License the song for that.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah. Aaron will be your executive producer, or the what do you call it, the world builder guy.
I'll be the lore master for the series.
Yes, lore master. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Just send us a tweet. We'll make it work. So moving on. So they get to Boimler's logs, and we're going to have to talk about this because...
Boimler dyes his hair.
Oh, my God.
That's why it's
Why
purple.
Did this happen? He also dyes his eyebrows, apparently.
Hey, you know what? Why half-ass it? Go all the way, baby.
I'm so upset. This destroys my theory about Boimler not being fully human.
Yep.
Why did this have to happen? Well, I almost stopped the episode right there, and
it had to happen because this entire episode was a gift to me.
Were you like watch that and a smile spread across your face?
Oh, you know what? I was already smiling with this happen, and it just broke my face. To see a plastic surgeon get it toned down.
Terrible.
Called it.
I'm still upset.
It's
I've watched this episode a couple times. I'm really upset.
Of course, when they do reveal his true hair color, it's going to be like green or some stupid thing like that.
Some other unnatural
I can never win.
We'll have to get back to that. We'll have to put this on hold. I'm still gonna hold out hope. Maybe there's something else unusual about him. I can still win this. Oh my god. But anyway, so they steal the ship.
Well, I think we skipped over some of the Boimler's log stuff. Obviously, the dyeing the hair is the best part, but he sniffs the captain's chair?
Also
gross, weird. Creepy, both?
Yeah.
And then he dropped his tricorder in the toilet. Like, all too real, right? I hear about this all the time. Oh, I dropped my electronic device in the toilet. What the F are you doing in there that you're dropping your device in the toilet?
Right. Yeah, that is a problem.
Not for me. My electronic devices go nowhere near the toilet water. What y'all doing in there, people?
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta you're doing your scans and you gotta take a dump and you just bring it in with you. And
I wonder if he was scanning his dumps. It's one of those freaks.
Purple? For the purple hair dye?
See if he's healthy,
Well, I guess I'll never know because I hope he threw that tricorder out.
Yeah,
put it back in the replicator.
Flushed it. Do you think toilets in Star Trek time flush? Or when you hit the flush button, does it just disintegrate the contents of the bowl?
I don't know. This
wait, are you one of those people who subscribe to the beaming the poop right out of them?
Yes, I was going.
Theory?
But now that toilets are canon,
yeah, it's too late. They've established that toilets exist.
I don't know what to think about that now. I'm hoping it's just the opening of a replicator. It's just like that, except oriented differently.
They poop into the replicators, and then they use that same material then at other replicators to produce food. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah, makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Seems reasonable to me, to be honest. It's just a little mini replicator, and it just
I am not surprised that eating your poop seems reasonable to you.
You know what? I think we need to talk about something else.
Yeah, let's move on. This has gotten a little gross for my taste. Oh, God, that's even grosser. Oh, come on, keep it going. Move along.
Oh no. All right. Well, I'm going to go to they steal the Cerritos, and we were talking before the show, and I still think the greatest joke in this episode is when the guys are just the two dudes are supposed to be guarding Drydock, and one of them's playing
3D
future
chess.
Solitaire.
3D chess.
It's basically the equivalent of playing Solitaire.
I love it. Nothing's changed.
Yeah. They still have these guys.
Dudes doing
and
incredibly
they watch the ship
boring
come
jobs.
Out. Yeah.
Neglecting their work.
And the one guy just they both just stare at the Cerritos as it comes out, and the guy just reaches over and just taps the red alert button. It was still good. No dialogue required. Still a funny joke.
It was a decent gag.
Yeah. But let's see what else. You had some comments about the after Mariner kicks everyone else off the ship except for her, and Boimler tricks the autopilot into coming back.
Jesus,
some autopilot issues here.
That autopilot is terrible. It still thinks we're flying in Earth. What? Do you not have sensors on board this thing? Can it not? Who designed this autopilot? Boeing? Jesus.
Ooh.
Oh,
that's
too
that
soon.
hurts.
Too soon.
I think so. Yeah, it's autopilot is one thing, but even modern autopilots will correct for certain things. It's not like it's just a pre-programmed thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're pre-programmed to respond to environmental things, right?
Right.
It's got sensors for equilibrium and tilt and yaw and all that stuff, but it's all I don't know. This whole shuttle crash bothers me.
You know what? They lived, and that's
the
all
important thing, I guess. Somewhere, some poor autopilot programmer is getting harangued by his boss.
Yeah, I think so. But then we get, the plot begins to resolve. The Cerritos is, of course, a breeding ground for little alien jelly creatures, which is in itself a kind of funny joke. But of course, Captain Freeman comes and gives the summary that we talked a little bit about earlier, where all of the other main characters have solved the main plot about the destruction of Pakled planet. And I'm sure you caught it too. You know, Captain Bateman is Kelsey Grammer's character from Cause and Effect, my favorite TNG episode, or possibly Star Trek episode.
Yeah, the captain with the highest Enterprise kill count makes a return.
That's right. How many? 100? 1,000?
Callback, though, you know?
Yeah.
Like, why that callback of all things? And he has no dialogue. He's just there.
Yeah.
Same with Tuvok. He's just there. Like, why?
Yeah,
why
Tuvok.
These references?
You know what? I mean, it could be... So, we talked about this with Gavin. The Lower Decks only goes one way as far as introducing characters. So there's all the main cast, and then there are people that have shown up but have no lines, and then they eventually get lines and become more main characters. So you've seen that with Casey, a bunch of other characters on the Cerritos. It could happen here too. It could be that they've booked some Kelsey Grammer and some Tim Russ, and they're going to pop in.
I doubt it.
You don't think so?
Nope.
Should we make a
gentleman's
bet right
wager?
Now? Yeah.
No, we shouldn't. Gambling is wrong, kids.
Because you know that you'll be wrong every time.
I don't know. If this episode is any indication, I'm on a winning streak.
Oh, for once. Okay, well, you know what? I'm just going to have to say it now. I think it's a distinct possibility they're going to get Tim Russ and Kelsey Grammer on the show. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, could be. Couldn't get Cole Meany, though.
That's true. Why? Yeah, get that guy. What's he doing? Get him on the show, man.
Yeah.
Come on, Mike. Help us out here. But when he touched, I saw when they were, Captain Freeman is giving the recap on the Pakleds, where it shows like all of the Pakleds in a row. Did you notice the one Pakled that's in the Cerritos,
yeah, he's still in his Cerritos gear?
Store.
Oh,
yeah,
amazing.
So good. Quite a fun callback. But let's see. Well, things kind of start to wrap up, and Captain Freeman and Admiral Freeman kind of hand off Mariner's fate to your best buddy, Commander Ransom.
Oh, man, I hope
How'd you
this
feel
is
about
a
that?
season-long arc. I love their dynamic.
What do you think's going to be new about this? Because they already have a strained dynamic.
I love their dynamic, and I hope they just play on it more. I love the whole sexual tension they have going on. I love the differing views on Starfleet that they have. I love the Ransom and his high ideals and Mariner's get it done attitude clashing.
Right.
I've always said that exchange on the Crystal Planet is one of my favorites from the series, and I really hope we see tons more like that. Yeah,
it's funny. I kind of thought it came off as the start of a rom-com movie, where they're the tension is there and they're at odds, and then they're just going to have a goofy adventure and possibly end up in a relationship together.
He's the by the books first officer. She's the out of control ensign. But now they have to learn from each other's strengths and fix each other's weaknesses. Star Trek Lower Decks, the Mariner. And I completely forgot it. Ransom story. Jesus. Okay, it came out at some point.
I think you've just outlined the next episode of Short Treks.
I somehow doubt that.
We'll see. I guess we'll see. But going back to our recent season 1 rewatch, they go back to phasers being the one item that can clean up all the messes thing as they're cleaning the shuttle.
Clean.
They don't even do wide beam.
That was the one that got me. Why are you not doing wide beam, people? Come on. Maybe the clean setting can't do wide beam.
Maybe it could be. Maybe it's the equivalent of being in military boot camp, and they tell you to clean the bathroom with a toothbrush. They usually go, here, clean the shuttle bay with a phaser set to narrow beam. Just to make you have to work it off.
I somehow doubt that, because it comes up a lot in the series.
That's true.
I feel like this is SOP at some point.
Yeah.
It's frequent appearances.
Just nobody's thought of it. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, once again, the cleaning phasers. I'm so confused. But, they at the wrap-up of the episode, Captain Gavin gets arrested. And he loses his commission there. I feel like this is like a supervillain in the making.
I hope not. I hope that like somewhere down the road, the Cerritos gets rescued, and it's Captain Gavin in his makeshift starfleet ship. He's been like replicating from like food replicators, like just bit by bit by bit. It's like held together with like duct tape and string.
But it still works. Still gets him into space.
Make it happen. You know what? If the Pakleds can get into space, why not Gavin?
Maybe Gavin allies with the Pakleds. That would be...
I'd hate that.
That'd be
Why?
rough.
Why'd you got to go there, man? Gavin has a true noble heart.
Yeah, that's true. He had nothing but noble intentions, but I don't know.
When he stole
now
that
that
Starship.
Starfleet has taken him down, could be an issue.
I don't know. Oh, Gavin, come back to us.
Maybe that's the next episode of Short Treks is Gavin's adventure.
Maybe that's the next series. Maybe this was a backdoor pilot.
Could be. Yeah. Where's he going in his Warp 1 Phoenix?
Yeah. Captain Gavin,
like,
space captain extraordinaire.
In his little cockpit, his like, there's no toilet in there. It's just the cockpit.
Who needs a toilet
Phoenix.
when you have an airlock?
Is there an airlock on the Phoenix? I don't think so. There's a door.
There's a door. Yeah, that's true.
Speaking of the Phoenix, actually, I mean, very pretty model that they used for it here.
Yeah, well, I mean, their visuals are pretty solid, so it's not surprising.
Yeah. It looks prettier and glowier than the First Contact model, I thought. I did a little comparison, and got more engine glowiness in the Lower Decks version.
The Lower Decks, they love their engine glows.
They do. That is true.
There's no starship they can't glow up.
Correct. Especially Starfleet ones. But I guess that's it. Where do you think the show is, the season is going to go from here? We're back to the status quo, I guess. They've resolved Captain Freeman's
Well, I think it's a
trial
sideways status quo. They've kind of shake things up a tiny, tiny bit. But,
Sure.
Everybody's back on board the Cerritos, and I imagine we'll be having fun one-off adventures that have no long-lasting repercussions any day now.
And I look forward to that.
Yes, indeed. Well, that's all for my cup, and our screens are blank once more. But you can catch us again next week as we pontificate about episode 2 of season 3. In the meantime, catch us on Twitter at Lower Dorks, or you could take a magic carpet ride on a cloud of sound to drift in the night. You'll find someone to help your fantasy set you free. That's where you're supposed to say, is that me?
Oh, is that me?
No, Stavros, never.